Yeah, hi, good morning. Uh, Good morning to our 22nd day of our training session. And today we are going to learn about ARA components. And before starting this thing, I want to thank our sponsor 360-degree Cloud and Demand Blue for giving this opportunity to have this training session. And today is, as I said, today is 22nd training day. And so far we have covered all the basic from basic CRM to LWC, and currently last week we learned about ARA things, and today and tomorrow we will be continuing with those ARA training, ARA component training. And today's our speaker is Soumya Tiwari from 360-degree Cloud Technologies, and he is having 4 years experience. To welcome him again for our group, and welcome you, Soumya Tiwari, and it's over to you.
Thank you, Anand. Uh, so, good morning, everyone. Uh, Today we are. This is the second session on Aura components. We had the first session where we discussed briefly about Aura components, how we can create a simple component, how we can get data from Apex, and a couple of more things in that session. We can recall that particular part in the later the session, but today let's start. So, before starting, a brief introduction about 360-degree cloud. So, we are 600 plus developers, specialists, architects, and trailblazers. We are having more than 400 plus certified members, and who are having more than 400 certifications. We have 6 different offices. One is in USA, and the rest of the 5 offices are Noida, Faridabad, Pune, Jaipur, and Kolkata. Then we have implemented more than 3,000 plus projects. We have served more than 30 plus industries. We have 5 different flagship products. We have helped our clients clear App Exchange security reviews, which are around 20. Then we have 40 plus partners. We have 9 plus years of experience since our inception. We are 5-star CSAT, 5-star uh, uh, reviews from CSAT. Then we are Salesforce Platinum Summit partner. And then we are also Salesforce Talent Alliance employer. Like we are associated with Salesforce for the same for the journey to Salesforce employment part. Uh, Moving over to the speaker, that is me myself. I'm Soumya Tiwari. I'm senior Salesforce developer, currently associated with 360-degree Cloud. I'm 4x Salesforce certified admin, um, app builder, uh, platform developer one, and JavaScript developer. I like Salesforce is kind of my like a heart. I am a developer by heart, and on a journey to become an architect in future. So let's move to the agenda of today. So we have covered introduction to Aura, creating Aura components, getting data from Apex and LDS in the previous session. Although Lightning Data Services was left and it was meant to be the first part of this session, so that it is kind of fresh for you guys. So we will be Lightning Data Services will be the first thing that we will be starting today. Then we will be looking into working with JavaScripts, like how we can use different types of JavaScripts, like Java third-party JavaScript library, or maybe a separate JavaScript library that we want to use commonly across components. Then we will be looking into the types of events so that we can actually use different um, components like parent-child relationships, then um, different components of the same page and things like that. We will also be talking about Lightning message services, which is a crucial part when we are actually developing in Salesforce, because Salesforce is not only about Aura or about LWC. We can have Aura components, we can have Lightning Web components, then we have pages. So in order to communicate between these three, we use Lightning message services. We will be jumping into more detail then and there. Then we also have Lightning Locker services and reusing Aura components, but these two are for the tomorrow's session, where we will be talking about in depth in what is Lightning Locker services, how it makes Aura components secure and things like that. And reusing Aura components is like we will be creating a few reusable Aura components so that you can use and see like how you can reduce the number of components you are creating for your org. Like as we know that there is an apex limit, but currently Aura components, like there is no hard limit that you can only create 100 Aura components or so. But still, like we should not be having an org with more than 200, 300 Aura components like that. So we should reuse Aura components, and that is why this is an important part that we will be referring to. So I've removed all the previous slides and will jump directly to the um, getting data from Apex or Lightning data services. So Apex part we actually talked last time. Today we will be talking only about the Lightning data services. So I gave you guys a brief introduction about Lightning data services also. So what is Lightning data services? Salesforce has given us an option to actually not write the Apex component and just write the Aura components and get the data from Salesforce. So as you all know, in BF pages we have controllers. So in controllers, like controllers are very easy. We can simply use get a data with the help of the record page. Like if the we have passed the ID record ID in the VF page, we can easily get the data right in VF pages. LDS is pretty much similar for Aura components. It is much better. Like we can edit it, delete, view data. There are many things. So that is something we will be looking at it. As in VF pages, the standard controllers take care of the sharing rules and field level security. It's the same with Lightning Data Services also. LDS takes care for sharing rules and FLS for us. We don't have to actually use the Apex code to see if we have the access or not. So it is quite easy and um, better for us. So Salesforce has, in order to use LDS, we have like Lightning Record Form, Lightning Record View Form, Lightning Record Edit Form, and Force Record Data. So it's not like let me get the browser for you and start showing you with the implementation. That will be better so that you guys can relate easily. So here is the component that we created. And if you guys recall, this is the data that we were getting from an JSON. Um, for the new folks, I will just quickly open the component and walk you through just a quick. Uh, so we have a demo component, the controller and component over here. If you see, uh, we have this record view form. Wait. This is another component that I was working on. This was the one we started that time. So here, this is the one. This is the demo component, right? And here we actually used a table to render it, which is this one. This is the table from the component one. Then we have a component two, which is the child component. And over here, if we go, this is the component two. And if you see, um, this is kind of card that we have created for each one. And we have a simple edit and save view for each one of them, right? So this was a simple two components that we created. But if you guys recall that in the demo component one, we used a demo component controller, which is this. And over here, we were simply returning and JSON. This was the JSON that we were returning. You can use JSON formatter. So it was just simple, right? So this was the JSON. Now, if we need to get a particular data, how things will work for that, right? We have to look into it. So what we will do is, instead of like showing this part, we will be creating another component, and which will be on, let's say, account, right? And over there we will be using the lightning data services to see how you can load the data, delete the data, create new data, and things like that. So let's go to new and create a lightning component account, and we will be placing it on the lightning record page. So if you see in this component also we created with the help of this helper only, like this part, component configuration part. Over here we always selected lightning tab. This time I also selected lightning record page, and what this thing has done is it has got us force has record ID. What force record ID does, force has record ID does, it actually creates a hidden or a attribute. It is, although we can uh, also write it manually, like we can declare it, but it is hidden. Like if we don't declare it, then also we get the record ID. And I will show you how we get the record ID. So name, let's say record, then ID. So this is the way, and type will be ID. So this is what it does. And what we can do is we can just show the v dot record ID. Nothing fancy. And I will open an account. This is a sample account that we get with the new orgs, and edit, edit page. Let me create a new tab. So if you see, we are getting the ID. This ID we are getting over here in customer tab, right? So we get the record ID. So I have declared it. What I will do is I will simply remove it, and then also will refresh, and still we are getting it. Also if needed. So I have got my developer console and network disable cache and refreshed it, because at times Aura has cache issues. So still, right? You have got the ID. So it doesn't matter if you declare it or not. If you declare it, it's good. You know that there is a attribute, but it is like you should have it by heart that if force has record IDs there, and even this attribute is not declared, you can easily access the record ID with the help of this. So this was just about this particular interface which we have implemented right now. So this thing, like suppose you get a client, and uh, the client wants you to create this type of component but fully custom. Like there is some we can say uh, there is some need for that. Let's say there is some requirement which you have got, that you need to create a uh, custom component of this way? It is very difficult, right? Like, how can we create such a component so easily? So Salesforce has taken care of that for us. So again, like last time, if you remember, we have component library with us. We will be using it because Salesforce has provided us so that we don't make many syntax errors. That's one of the thing. And actually, it's so vast that we have to read these documentations, specifications for things how we should use them, right? So we have it. So we are using a lightning card. We don't need uh, actions in the card right now. And this is the division where we will be placing our body. Uh, we can just simply go with, like, we are not developing on lightning web components. We are developing on aura components. So if you see, we have force record data, force record edit, force record view. And then we have lightning record edit form, lightning record form, and lightning record view form. So let's start with the record view form. Mm, first, let's start with force record view because it is very easy. So what we'll do is we'll get this and just do a refresh. It has got this whole thing over here, but only in the view form. If you see, that's why I told it it's very easy. So what force record view does, it actually renders the uh, whole page layout for you without actually typing in the fields that you need and where you need. So it is very easy in that sense. You can easily get the record view over here. And let's suppose you like this is on the record page, right? But suppose you are creating a custom lightning component and you want this view. You are creating a whole list view in a different sense. So how you can do, like, I have done this currently with the help of record ID from this page. But you can easily pass it from JavaScript also. Let me show you. What I will quickly do is, instead of getting the ID from the like Salesforce services, like Force has record ID, I will simply open a contact in the quotes. I will give this value like this, and now it will load a contact over there. Yep, it has loaded the contact. This is the contact. If you see, these two are the same. But I just now told that you can give it from JavaScript also. Let me show you that. I will let the record ID be like this only, and I will just remove it from here. Now it will not load anything. I'm showing you each and every step. So I've removed it. Okay. I guess it is still taking the record ID because we have the attribute declared. What we will do is instead, okay, let it be. What we will do instead is we will create another attribute. Uh, Custom record ID. And over here, we will assign this one. And in the controller, we will have do a net, and we will do component dot set with the record ID we just copied from contact. We have to still initiate this, right? So what we'll do is handler, name equal to init, value equal to this, and equal to yep. So see, we have got the contact, and this time it is from the handler. Like we have explicitly in the handler, we are having this, and then we are rendering with the help of force record view. Uh, let's do a better thing. Let's actually give you an options like currently these will be static options. I will be showing you a table, and they will be static right now, but we can actually get those data also. Like I have showed you in the case of this, right? We are getting this data. Now what I will do is I will use this same table and show you a custom part. Let's go with it. I will copy this table from here. And let's copy it from here and paste it over here. And we don't have anything like that. Let's say custom record list, right? And here we have item.name, the name of that. We don't need this. We just need item.id like this. Item.id name is there. We don't need this. Instead of I am here, it will be ID, and here it will be name. Sorry, guys. Mm, we also have to declare an attribute. We have custom record list, and what we will do is from here we will set v.custom record list, but we have to declare it. What I will do is I will actually show you the use of helper also. Till now I haven't shown you how to use the helper. Let's use helper. Get record list. We are creating this component. Get record list. CORD. Let's get it. From here, it will be helper.getRecordList. And in the helper, we can also call Apex and all, but instead of calling Apex and all, what I'm doing is I'm creating it manually. And so this is how you can create a JSON, blank JSON, and JSON object in JavaScript. You can also say it as a map, like it will act as a map also. Record, sorry. Record, and what I will also do is console.log, just so that if I did any error, I can track it down. Record.name equal to, and then we have record.id equal to. So all done, all set. Let's get the name. Okay, we have it over here. I will just close this. We have the ID. So we have the ID now, and we have to get the name. Let's just take the first name, Ashley. But with a single one, it will not do. Let's get one more. So there are many contacts. We'll pick anyone else. This is the ID. So just again, this I'm doing manually, but we can also use Apex to get all this data, right? So this is the list, and this is the controller where we are setting it, and this is here where we are displaying. So, but still, we have a long way to go right now. I will show you how. I'm just displaying the data. So custom aura tab. Okay, let's refresh it. And let's see console if we get the console.logs. Okay, this time we have. So we have this. And in console.log, if you see from the demo component, account.demo, we have this log, which is the list, right? Sure. Now, one more thing. We also need to, like, on click of this, we have to load, right? So what I will do, first of all, let's remove this. We don't need it over here. Now, what we need is another button, like load record and function component event helper, right? Now, how will we get this data item.id? This is the first thing. So to get this data, it's quite easy. But we need an extra column, so that's why we are having this. But we don't need any, what should I say, header. We need a button. So again, component library, and here we will go with let's get a neutral button. Is there an issue? Oh, just a second. So what mistakenly I did, I copied LWC component. We don't need it. We need Aura components button. So the syntax is a bit different, not a lot. It's a bit different. And you might have seen that we cannot interchangeably use them. So on click, handle click, then we have this. But I also need this. So how can we get it? I will show you one thing. What you can do is you can wrap this button inside a span. So it's kind of a hack that I'm doing. And instead of having on click over here, we will have the on click on span. And instead of on click, we will use load record. And in the span, what we will do is we will have data ID equal to item.id. Okay, now let's see. Over here, let me declare a variable record ID equal to. Now, whatever thing we have here in the data, how to get it? This is a standard JavaScript thing that I'm going to show you. Event dot current target dot data set dot id with id, and this is how we will get our record id. I will quickly log it so that i can I can confirm that we are having this right data. And what I will also do is we have the record id over here, and in here we will custom record id. This is the, do we have any error? Parsing error 6, line number 6. Okay, we have an extra dot. Everything is done. Let's refresh it. If we go to custom aura tab now, invalid record ID or record not accessible, right? Because we are having a null record ID. But if I click over here, we have got undefined right now. Okay, we have got undefined. Let me quickly see. We have this. We have this TD. Inside this TD, we have a div. We have a span. And if you see over here in data ID, we are having this ID. Now let's see why our on click didn't work. Let's see that. Just one more thing. So ID is all small. And last time I told that JavaScript is case sensitive. I will show it over here also that I have used ID as small. So just change it to small and a refresh will do the job. And if I click it right now, so it loaded. Like we don't need a uh, console log right now. But if you see, I clicked on it and we rendered ashley.james. And if I click on this one, it changed and it shows us Mrs. Les DeCruz. So like this way, you can actually create custom components to show record data without even typing a lot of code. Like we have not typed a lot of code right now. If you see, like it's pretty simple. In the helper, I just have a list like this. You can get from Apex simply, and over here we have like 2-3 lines of code, and over here also like displaying the record. Displaying the record is just a single line. The rest everything is like to show you guys other things, but showing the record is just a single line. So it's that easy, at least in Salesforce, in the Aura. So now, now once we are done with this, I will like to show you one more thing. If you see, we are having invalid record ID or record not accessible. this doesn't looks good. We should do something about it. So what I will do is, so like first I will show you one thing. So we have Aura if, right? Where you can actually render conditionally. This is like for conditionally, right? Now, if this not equal to null or not equal to undefined, then it will be true. Like either this is true or this is true. Yeah, right. It will do the job. Now, let's refresh it. So see, we just have this and we don't have that, right? But once I click it, we have this. So this is how using different components, you can create a full-fledged Aura component easily. Like this is super easy and I will say much easier than the VF pages. Okay. So this was all about the force record view. But in the presentation, where is the presentation? In the presentation, a force record view was not even there. We had a couple of more, right? We have a couple of more. So let's start with those also. So this was the force record view. And again, I will show it over here. So we talked about record view. In the specifications, we have a couple of things like we can pass the record ID that we are doing. Um, so we can also pass the whole record, like we can get the record from Apex and pass it directly over there so that it can show you in the standard form. And then we have the type also. So currently, like there is a type attribute also, but only full is the only valid type. So there is nothing over there. Then we have a record edit also. What this record edit does is it will open the whole thing in the edit form. Record instead of view, let's do it record edit. And again open it. Just to refresh. So now everything is in the edit form. Um, you don't ask me like how we can actually edit it, but I have one more thing. Like you can actually go and use a button to like edit it and using if is true like or if you can conditionally display either the record edit or the record view. So this whole functionality to edit, like when you click edit, this thing will be opened like this. Like this things can be done, and I will like to give this uh, task to you guys to do to perform. And so basically, I've told you the each and every component that will be used in there and how it will be used. So this is something a task for you guys to perform so that we can move ahead. So this was about the record edit. Then we even have the record data, force record data. Now, what force record data does is force record data doesn't show anything. Like it will not show you anything. It will actually just get the record, just the record. Like you can get the fields and target fields will be like in account record, you will get all the records. And like this, you will be able to showcase them at a later part. So this can be done with the help of record data, and record data is used when you want to have a full custom layout. Like you don't need this. Like your client says that I don't need this Salesforce layout. It is so boring. To create me something new. So in that case, you can actually use force record data to get the fields that you want, like specifying the fields in the form of a comma separated list, and then get all the data inside a attribute and showcase like this. Then we have record view form. So I'm not showing you all these, right, because the function of all of them are quite similar, and if there is something new I will show it, but I'm not showing the repetitive things, guys. But I guess half of you will run out because everything is quite similar. Now talking about the record view form, like all these were force. Like there are two namespace in Aura, like force and lightning. So all of these were force record data, force record edit, and force record view. Now we are talking about lightning record view form, lightning record form, lightning record edit form. So lightning was created, like lightning interface was created so that you can create custom UIs. And this is what Salesforce Lightning namespace is all about. Like lightning record view form, you can actually use these output fields and record view to render things conditionally up how you need. Like you need like if you see over here, you have a custom style, everything. Like you just have to use the output field and the field name, and everything will be in the record edit form. It will work brilliantly well. So you can even create multiple columns. If you remember SLDS, so you can have multiple sizes also. Like you can create multiple columns also, like 4 columns, 5 columns, like that. Then there are many things over there which you like, which is a task for you guys to explore, right? Then we have record form also, and record form, like it is also kind of similar than record edit form, but a record form is doing the job of record edit and record view both. Like over here in the specifications I will go and show, there is a mode, and in this mode you can provide view, edit, read only. So if you will provide it as a view, it will be the view. If you provide edit, then it will be an edit. If you provide read only, it will be a read only form. So like record form, lightning record form combines record edit and record view both. Then we have explicitly record edit form, where you can specifically mention the input fields and do it. So this was all about Lightning Data Services. I will wait for a minute for you guys to ask any questions if you have. Otherwise, we will move forward.
You can
Hi, Sam.
unmute and
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. I have a question over here. Like, as we discussed in force record data, we just passed an ID to view the complete layout for a particular, like whatever ID we passed, we just got a view,
Yes.
like a non-editable view for that.
Yes.
So, is it
Yes.
possible to customize what fields we want to display over there? And like as we just saw, we just got the fields which were available on that layout.
On the layout.
So we just want, yeah, we just wanted to like, is there any way we can customize the view, which all fields we want to display in that readable format?
So if you want, that thing is mentioned over here, right? So if
Okay.
you force record view is eh, the whole layout coming to you, right?
Okay.
Just a single line to get the whole layout. But if you
Okay.
need explicit control over each and every field, then you will
Okay.
have to use record view form, where you can
Okay.
actually specify which field you want to place where.
Okay.
And you can even specify conditionally which field, like this field you need at the top, and if
Okay.
this field the value is this one, like using aura if and things, like this is
Okay.
the value of this field, this particular field bit should be displayed at the top, like all these
Mm-hmm.
things you can specify.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So, as like one more add-on question on this, as we can create a multiple page layouts. So,
Uh-huh.
is it possible we can assign a page layout, like a specific page layout for our own? Like, will develop, like, instead of you using this customization code, we'll be developing a separate page layout, and we will be
Uh-huh.
using that page layout in record view form. So that we don't have to go for the customizations, and we will just assign that page layout to our record view form, and our work will be done with that.
um, no, we cannot specifically mention the page layout. Page layout will be the one which is for that record, like
Okay.
the page layout which you are having access to. So
Okay.
every time, and it
Mhm.
also matters which particular um, app you are in. So
Okay.
suppose for the sales app you are having a different page layout, for
Okay.
sales console you are having a different page layout, so based
Okay.
on this Salesforce will help. Like force
Okay.
record view, basically in this particular page,
Mm-hmm.
at the at the back end, this
Mm-hmm.
same code is written, force
Okay.
record view,
Okay. Yeah,
and
makes
it's
sense.
working
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. So thank you. That's
Yep.
all from my side. Thank
Anyone else have any question? Otherwise, we can move forward. You guys can even use chat. So, like, let's move. If you have any question, you can use the chat, and I will get back. So, sorry. Yep. So, like, JavaScript. Already told you a couple of things about JavaScript, but still. So, in 1995, JavaScript was born, and in 1997, there was something known as ECMS standard, which was actually established. So, like, if you know that every Java, every script or every language has their compiler and has a standard, like this is how you have to code. But JavaScript is quite open. Like you can even use the latest ES6 script or the ES9 script which is there in the current version. You are open to it. JavaScript is quite open, and you can use different types of scripting forms in a single JavaScript, and it will be more or less compatible. But still, there are some standards which were created to make sure that um, uh, things go out in a linear manner and everyone know how to code. So ECMS standard was established in 1997. By 1999, ES3 came out, and Internet Explorer 5 started supporting ES3. And exactly like whatever we write right now, like var equal to, like all these are the syntax of ES3. Like I will show you this code that I have highlighted. This code, the highlighted code, is from the ES3 standards, right? But if we talk about this code, the whole file, this is from the ES5 standard. All this, it is from the ES5 standard. So ES5 came out in 2009, and that is what upon the Salesforce uh, Aura component is made upon. And also one more thing, Salesforce Aura also support ES6 standards also. So Salesforce supports, like give me a minute. Salesforce supports both ES5 syntax and ES6 promises, which were like the promises which were introduced in ES6. But if you want the latest standards, then you have to go with LWC. LWC is made up on the latest standards, and it will be updated with the latest standards. Um, so it's for sure that Aura is going to be deprecated, but still, like Aura will be used in a lot of other areas. So here are a few sample codes of like ES5 and ES6, how things are working over there. So instead, like before going to the next topic, I will like to show you how you can actually use third-party libraries. So for that, give me a minute. Let me open a few things. Let me quickly uh, create a new project because we will be using it in the future. Like Lightning Message Service, we will need VS Code. So let me just quickly create one project. Okay. And before authorizing, so we have a chat message also. Okay, there is a challenge. That is the challenge. Let us quickly create an attachment. So basically, what you guys can need is, you guys can do is, you can create a static JavaScript file. Like you can upload a JavaScript file which has a couple of JavaScript codes which you want to share across the components. Like you need 3 or 4 components to use the same code. All those code you can write into a static resource and upload. So that is what I'm going to do right now. Give me a minute to just do it. So this I've uploaded. Now I will quickly authorize it. Authorize an org production. So I have successfully authorized. Now from the metadata browser, I will just download the static resource, or I can edit it over here and deploy it. Static. So over here, we are not having any code right now, right? Now, what I can do is, mm, let's say you need to create a counter, right? So what you have to do is you have to create a function for it equal to 0. Then we also have to, like, from this counter, two functions should be accessible. So what we will do is we'll have this in the return, and this will return two things. One is increment, which will actually increment the value and return value equal to value plus 1. So value equal to value plus 1, and return value. Mhm. Then we will have get value also. Function return value, and we will have another function which is decrement function. Value equal to value minus 1, return value, right? So we have all these functions, and over here, so just in case there is any parameter, I will deploy it again, and share code will be updated. Will also show you over here. So let it deploy. So if you see, I have attached it to window, and I have attached it to window so that Salesforce says Aura, like the Aura framework of Salesforce can actually access underscore counter. This is the reason. Okay, so we have deployed it, and now if I will show you the file, it is the updated file, right? Now let's go and start using it in our component. We have one more chat. Okay, again, Anand. So now we have to load the script, right? In order to load the script, we will again go to component library and lntg, ltng, sorry. There is another namespace which is ltng. So lightning require again, ltng is a short form of lightning, and this is how we can load the scripts. So let's quickly go to our component. So instead of like writing all this in the account demo only, account demo, for that we will write everything in the demo component again, and just delete this table now. We will just have this particular part, and we will have everything over here. Let's do it. So so we don't have all these. We just need the script. We don't have styles. So here it is. Let me copy the name from shared folder. right? So let's go over here, resource.shared code, and uh, it is itself a JavaScript library, so we don't need this, right? And after scripts loaded, let's write a method component event helper. And over here, let's do one thing. Let's just console log. So I told you that underscore counter will be available to the Aura framework now. So let's see if it is available or not. And let's also quickly write two more methods. Increment, decrement. So it is like counter dot increment and it will be decrement. Okay, so we have these. Now we also need some buttons to do it, to do the job for us. So I will just copy this button, and it is like show value, increment, decrement, right? And then show value again, we will just simply use scripts loaded. So because we are just showcasing the value, and then increment, we will use increment, and in decrement we will use decrement. Now let's load our component. K underscore counter is not defined. Okay, let me see. Window dot underscore counter. Okay. Just one more thing. Let's just confirm. Okay, it's text slash JavaScript. That's also right. In that case, let us confirm one thing. Let's try to refresh it. Okay, this time it did. Okay, so at that time might be our code was like cache issue, we can say. So if I press load data, this is coming, but this is not what we want. If I press show value, it is showing 0. And if I press increment, it is doing -1. I guess I have like messed up with that value. Let me see quickly. So increment is increment, decrement is decrement.
Oh, in
Still,
JavaScript, you have made it different. Yeah.
okay, okay. Uh, so like one more thing, one piece of advice, like whenever you are coding on Aura, make sure you try to refresh a couple of times before start debugging that okay, my code is not working. So also like um, if I do it like load data, it's working. Show value, it's 0. If I press 4 times increment, so it has done it. And if I show again show value, so it has that. So this way you can create these types of shared code and use it across your 2 or 3 components. And that is really very easy to do because like this shared code, you can perform many things like let's say you're having mm, a piece to like render a Excel file or convert an Excel file to let's say JSON or anything like that. Like you want to uh, read an Excel file and send to a backend, like let's say your Apex code. So in that case, you can use these types of shared code, which can be available to multiple components, and you don't have to write such codes repeatedly. Like that is one of the key thing that you should be doing. One more thing, like suppose you have any JavaScript library, third party. So in that case, you have to make sure like if that library is coming from anywhere, you have to make one thing sure that you are attaching it to window. If I just delete this window part, right, uh, and deploy it, and if I do, is it still working? No, it is not working now. The reason it is not working is because now I am no longer attaching it to window, and Aura will not be able to access it just with the help of underscore counter. You have to attach any particular functionality to that, to the window. If it is attached to window, you can easily go get it. All right. Uh, Now let's start uh, with events. So, what do you guys understand by event? Can't use export keyword here instead of window. No, Naved, you cannot use export keyword over here because, like I told, that Aura is working on the ES5 and ES6 standards, and we cannot use export keyword over here. If you need to use export keyword, you have to go with LWC, where actually you can create like, let me, okay, this is a new one, but if I had any, like you can create a blank LWC file where you can just have the export, like a JavaScript file where you are exporting each and everything, and there you can use that JavaScript file from that LWC to like use it in the same way like we are using this file over here. You can create an LWC file, like let me give you a demo. Like let's say shared code over here, right? This is a folder of LWC you have got. Then shared code.js, you write it, and then you write different codes. Like let's say uh, we declared let value equal to 0. Then you have uh, let increment equal to the value equal to value sort value plus 1. I think here we don't need this. Increment, decrement, show value. And here it's this. And now so here you can do this. Here you can do this, and this same code is equivalent to this code. And you can then just use shared code.js in your different LWC components. So I guess LWC class has already happened, so you guys can use this one also, like see this one, and in tomorrow's session I will be able to guide you. If in case that doesn't work, I will have an LWC code, sample LWC code ready for you guys, so that I can quickly integrate it over there. But today, as we are concentrating on Aura components, let's not deviate from that point. So I'm just getting all my Aura components over here so that it's easier for me to code. So we were going to talk about events. I hope no one else have any question. If you have any questions on this sharing of JavaScripts, you can let me know. I will clear it here. Otherwise, you guys can still use the chat window. Right? Sure. Let's move ahead. So I was talking about events. What do you guys understand by events? Like, anyone want to speak up?
When something
Mm,
happens in the system,
That is an event.
like if we have two components and we want to pass some data from one component to other component, then I guess we can make use of event for that. But definitely both components in which we are like when one component is calling the second one and they don't have any connections between them, then we can use events to communicate between them.
Yes. So basically, you are half right and half wrong. So basically, uh, there are two types of events, and these are obviously used for communications. Like we have application event and component event. As it is denoted over here, application event is used to communicate between two or more components which are not related. Like this thing, this not is playing a very important role, which are not related with each other. Like there are two components just placed on a single window. You can use application event. But if you want to use like a component event, then it has to be a parent-child relationship. But that doesn't mean like application event cannot be used in parent-child relationships. We can use application event there also, but in that case, application event is available to much larger audience. It is available to a much larger audience. So that is something which might scare you. So suppose you are having a payment component, like you are processing, like let's say credit card data with the help of LWC or Aura. Sorry, application event, component event are not there in LWC. My bad. So you are processing a credit card with the help of Aura, and you have created a very modular code. You are having 2, 3 different types of components over there, and you want to communicate between them. If you are going to use application event, and let's say you fire an application event that contains the credit card details, that is accessible to all the components which are actually listening to that event, and which can be a bit dangerous, right? So such sensitive information, we should use component event so that it is only accessible to its parent and its child, and it is easier for us to like isolate the data and not send it to anywhere else. Okay, so for now, let's see how it works. Let's see directly. Heading again, account. So here, if you see, I am the parent, I am the child, and this is another component. If I click on send data, okay, we have another component now. I was wondering why it's not there. If I click on fire event, let's say, right? So when the event is fired, like I will zoom in. I zoomed in a lot. So when an event is fired, the event is actually cached in the demo, the parent component, and the component event is fired for that. That's why only it is cached in the demo component. But when an application event is fired, right, it is cached in the demo component parent also and in the demo component also. So let me show you how these things are. Not edit object, edit page. So if you see, this is another component, which is demo component, and this is demo component parent. Okay. So I hope things are clear that anything coming from demo component, it is from this. And if it is demo component parent, then it is from this component. Okay. Now, let me also show you. So we have, this is the demo component. I will close everything. This is the demo component. This is the component where we are having handlers. This is the application event, right? Which we are actually handling. And this is the component event which we are handling. Okay. So these are two different handlers we have. And then we have demo component parent. So I will keep it open. Then we have demo component parent, which is having two handlers again, component event and application event. Then uh, here we are having a lightning card that I am the parent. We also have demo component child, which says a lightning card, I have the child. Okay. And over here, we are having application event and component event as registered. Don't worry. I'm first of all trying to make you understand. Then I will also code a fresh component showing you how we can use component events and application events. So don't worry on that. First, I'm trying to make you understand what is component event, application event, how they are working, what is the working. I will try to make you understand that, and then we will move ahead. Okay. So these are all the events. So here we are registering the events. Here we are handling the events. And over here also we are handling. Nowhere else we have registered. So the child is actually firing the events. So that's why we have to register the event at the child. So the component where we fire the event, we register the event over there. And the component where we want to receive the events, we handle the event over there. I hope this is clear. So if you want to announce something, you have to register. If you want to receive something, you have to handle. Okay. So now, um, let's go to the JavaScript. And the child, like when we are firing the event, we are first of all like inside fire event. Then we are setting the message, component event or application event. If you see one thing, when we are firing a component event, we are actually using component.get event, component event. But when we are actually firing an application event, we are using $a.get the application event. So why the discrimination is there? So this is the difference between a component event and application event. Application event, you get it from the component itself, but when you want to get the application event, you have to get it from $a, which is the global counterpart of a component. Component is like this component it is referring to. $a is like the whole Aura namespace, right? So $a is the whole Aura namespace, and that's why you have to use this to get the application event. So that whole we have the reference of the whole Aura namespace, and anything we fire we can get, right? We have again rest all the things are same, like set parameter fire, set parameter fire. So we have component event fire, application event fire, right? Now inside the parent, let's go to the parent JavaScript. Handle component event cache and demo component parent, and handle event app application event cached in demo component parent, right? And in the demo component, which is a like standalone component, there we are just having component event cached in demo component and application event cached in demo component. Okay. Now let's again go back and try to fire a component, try to fire an event. I will fire the event, and now see, I will also, I clicked on fire event. Okay, I clicked on fire event. We are inside fire event in the demo component child. Then in the parent, we are getting component event cached in demo component parent. Okay, then we are getting component event fired. So the component event is only cached in the demo component parent, and then it gets over, like it is not getting to the component which is not related. But when we are actually firing an application event, it is actually getting cached in the demo component, which is a non-related component, and then it is actually cached in demo component parent, and then the like fired is like after everything happens. So it's that. Okay, but we are getting it twice. Why we are getting it twice? Let me quickly see. Handle component and application event cache and demo component, and then here we are having a handler handle event. Okay, surprisingly we are getting the event twice. By the way, I also showed you like this is another dev, this is another dev. So this dev tool is for this one, and the other dev tool, which is this one, is for this. So if I click on fire event, this one, everything is fired, but this one is not having anything, right? So the reason for this is, although it's an application event, but it cannot be used across the browse, like across the tab. So if we are firing an event on this page, it will only be fired on this page only. You cannot get this data to any other page. Like let's suppose you are having a component open over here also, which is handling that event. It will not happen. So application event and component event are for this part only. We also have one more thing, which is also known as platform events. How many of you have heard about platform events? No one? So okay. So Naved has heard about platform events. Yeah, you guys can raise your hands and such questions. No issues. So platform event is something which is uh, like fired across your Salesforce platform. Like any browser open, this Lokesh has also heard about. So you can also handle platform events in Aura component. So that is something we will be talking about after our break. A short break is over there. And after the break, I will also show you how we can create our component events and application events and how we can work on those. So like due to time constraint, guys, I will not be able to create a very nice looking components. We will be looking more into the functionality part right now. So uh, I say sorry for that part in advance, but still we will be looking into all the functionalities also. We'll try to like I guess this will be the last topic of today, like implementing component event and application event. Let me quickly see if we have anything else. Okay, we have lightning message service also. We will try to do this part also, like message service. So these two things are left, which we will be doing after the break. So let's meet after a 15 minutes break at 11:20. Okay, Anand?
Yeah, okay. We'll be having a
Uh,
break.
yep, sure. So let's meet at 11:20. Is everyone back? So let's start. I guess. Sure. Let's start. I will quickly move to the slide. So just now we talked about the different types of events, which are application event and component event, right? Now let's start with actually coding it. So the reason I'm actually showing you code live, like it's a kind of a live code session, because I want you to see how one can code, like what are the errors that might come, what are the mistakes which might happen, and in that way you will be able to learn better. And that is the only reason I'm coding live and not having the pre-written codes with me. So if you see, we are having two events also, which are demo event, application demo event component, right? So these are actually the events. Was anybody saying something? Okay, maybe some issues. Yep. So over here, we can actually have attributes in the events. So these attributes denote what are the things that we can pass and other things like that. So up until now, I showed you how we can code on the developer console on Aura components. Now I will be coding everything on a VS Code. So we will be creating event which are like global application. This is the name of event that I'm taking. And over here, we will be having different messages that we guess. Let us copy from here. So one is message and one is like, let's type, and one is component. So this is the global application. Then let's first create the components. Then we will see what else we need. So let's create the Aura component and name it contact list. Okay, this is the contact list component that we are creating, and over here we will also create quickly a few um, handlers and all, so that you guys know each and everything. So we have to create a global Aura handler. The reason for this is I will be using this same handler in all the components whichever I'm creating now. So, but for best practices, it is always like you should use different. Sorry, guys. So this is contact list. What I will do is I will yep. Enabled click static list of contact get contact list. Right over here, we will do list of contacts equal to select ID comma name from contact where um, let's not have the where clause and return contacts. Right, so we have the get contact list. Over here we will have an handler or a handler name equal to init value equal to this action equal to c dot onto init. Right, now let's open the component library project. Let's open it. I didn't showed you the data table yet. I have showed you the apex behind, like the actual things behind it, but I didn't showed you how to use a data table. So let's do it now. Attribute name equal to columns type equal to, so the type will be list, right? Type will be list. Then we have to get another attribute which is like data, and this will be object. Right, key field as ID, and we need one more thing, data table. And no. So we have action over here. So action data table on row action. So we have on row action, right? Handle row action, Now let's go to the JavaScript. And in JavaScript, let's start coding to in it. So let action equal to component dot get c dot. So component list like global or a handler. In this we have get contact list. So c dot get contact list. We don't have any parameters. So action dot set callback. This comma function response. So this is the callback. Then $a dot enqueue action. We have to enqueue action, right? We will console dot log response dot. It should be response dot get state exactly and get return value. Yes. So let's do it till here. We have to deploy this. We have to deploy this. Till now, we haven't declared more things. So let's go to home, and we don't need all these. So sales home is going to be our workspace right now. We are going to remove each and everything and displaying everything custom. Uh, so for that, we first have to use flag available for all pages. That is something that we are going to use. Just a refresh. It should be deployed before it refreshes, otherwise it is not available. So we will have to refresh again. So we have contact list now. We'll delete all. So we have this component over here. And if you see, we have got success and an array. So these are all the records. Now we have to show them, right? So for showing, we will do get column definitions. Great. So we will be using helper also. So before that, we will do this component dot set v dot columns helper and helper. So contact name and the field name for that would be name. Type is text, sort table. Let's just remove all these. We can give an icon name which is standard contact. Okay, we don't need this. This no. Mhm. Name. So this is a button that we might need. Action level. We don't need this. So these things we will need. We don't need this. We'll deploy it, and it will be set this. So if this is success, if triple equal to SU success, response.getReturnValue, we are getting a list, and over here we will use the data and save it over here. So we have got this. Here it's all blank, and here it is view detail, nothing happening. But why it is all blank over here? Contact name. The reason for that is name. Again, I said, right? I said that it is case sensitive, and I didn't take care of it. So over here, field name will be name. Let's also display the ID. Contact ID. And for this, we don't need an icon. And a quick deploy will do the job. It's deployed. Let's do a refresh. Okay. So we are having each and every detail. Now, when we will click view detail, we have to open a new component. Okay. What we will do is this is view detail, and what we need over here, we don't need anything over here. No, actually we need over here, which is handle row action. We will do it like this: handle row action function component event helper. And now over here we have to do, so first we have to get what action has performed, equal to event. So it's an event, like we have clicked on it, it's an event. And we also have to get the row that which was actually clicked on, right? Now, instead of doing anything else, we will click on action. Like we will actually log action and row. Okay. And now let's see. I clicked on view details and we got two proxy. So target, it is like an object, and here target, it is also an object. Okay. Sure. Now let's try to get the ID. So it should be row.id. Let's try to get that. And let's also try to get the action name. So it will be action dot, it should be name. Okay, now let's deploy it. Let's see one more thing. Have it? Yeah, we have the name. If I clicked on view detail, we got view details and the ID. So now we have to publish this, right? We have to publish this event so that another component can listen to it. So what I will do, I will have to register this from this component. I will publish the event. I will have to register that event. So wait, I will show you one thing. What if I don't register the event? Let event equal to $a.get, and it will be like e dot, so event dot uh, c colon global application. Should I confirm if I'm right? Let me quickly confirm. E dot c colon. Yep, I'm over right over there. I'm right. So I've got the event, and now event dot set params. So what this set params actually do, if you see over here, this is component, this is the child. Yeah, if you see over here, here we had a message, right? And so this message on demo event application, if you see event, there is an order attribute message. So this was set. Now in the global application, what we have, three message type component. So what we will do is, in here in a JSON, it will be message, then it will be type, component, three things. So message will be, let's say, the ID. So message will be row.id. Type will be open record, and this component will be record view component. So this is just, I will show you why this is there. So open record view component, row.id, and now we will just fire it. Event dot fire. Just waiting for it to deploy. What is the error? So we deployed global application event. Let's try again once more. It's not showing the error. Okay, thanks to the typing mistake. No. I just want to show you guys the error. contact list one component controller. Event is okay. We have this event, so this will be EVT. So, like, if there is something, if there is a pro, there is a con, right? So here we have a con that we are not able to see the error, but now we are able to. So we have the event now. Okay. So what I will quickly do is I will refresh and view details. So it is giving an error. Mm, So it is not giving us a correct error, but I will show you what the error is. Here I tried to use the event, but I haven't registered it. So you have to register the event. I will quickly copy the syntax. This one right here. So this is an application event and it will be global application. So see, now the error is not coming, but the event is getting fired. So like why I showed you this, like why I didn't register it and tried to show you that there is an error coming, because we are getting it from $A. We are not getting it from the component. So if you remember last time I told, like before the break, I told you that if you need to access a component event, you get it from the component. But if you need to access the application event, you get it from the Aura interface, like $A, right? So over here, I wanted to show you that you still have to register the event so that you can access it over here. You cannot do it without registering. Hope that's clear. So we have fired the event from here, but what now? Like, mm, so we have to create a component to show the record, right? So create Aura component, uh, display record. Let's create another Aura component. Again, we have to implement this. We will not implement the controller. We will use SLDS instead. Um, hmm, and but still, we will have to uh, handle the event, right? So instead of like writing, I will again do a copy paste. So this is an application event. We will copy it. So event, we have to just specify global application and handle event is the action. And inside here, what we will do, we'll go to the controller. This is the handle event. We have we also have to implement Aura. I will show you one more error, name equal to record ID. But first, let's type in everything, show you running, and then I will show you the error. And we also have to get the record data, force record data. Force record data, record data, record data. No, record view, record view. We need the record view over here, and that will be like this. And here we will be passing in v dot record ID, right? Had handle event. Okay, so we have the handle event in place, but we have to component dot set v dot record ID, and from where will we access event dot, just a minute. So where there we actually use set parameters. Here we will use get parameters. So first we have to use get parameter message first thing. Then we also have to see if component triple equal to in the list we have set like record view component. So we will have it over here. So just we can see that it is for this, it is meant for this component only, and we are not using for any other, like using the application event which was not meant for this component, and then it is functioning. So we can have such kind of variables where we can actually set like, okay, if these two matches, then only work on this component, otherwise don't work on this component. So things like this can be done. So now what I will do is I will again edit the page and show you, add the component over here. So contact list, and this is the display record. I will add display record over here. So as record ID is not there, it is saying invalid record ID, record not accessible, no issues. Now, when I will click on view details, here the record ID comes and it gets displayed. So this is how you can work with different. So it's not looking good, right? Uh, let's add a lightning card. Lightning card will be over here. So like this, now it's looking good. So with the help of application events, these are two different components, like they are not related, still they are working good together. So this is how you can use application events. Now if we talk about component event, you can use the component event in the same way. Suppose like you have to display the whole component on top of it, right? This is a separate component. You have like in the same component you have to do the parent component, or there is a parent-child relationship, something like that. So you can use component event instead, and it will work in the same way. So currently there is no relationship, direct relationship between these two, but still with the help of application event, we are able to fire the events and we are able to get the data over here. So this is how application event works. I hope that is clear to all of you guys. I can see like, okay, it is from Anand, but if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. I will be happy to answer. Okay, seems it is clear to everyone. So I hope you guys will be able to work on it freely without any issue. Okay, let's move. Let's move to the next one. So we were talking about the types of events, how things works and all. We talked about all of them. Now let's talk about lightning message services. So what is Lightning Message Services? Uh, if you see right now, we were able to communicate between two components. Okay, wait. We have a comment from Dheeraj. Can we use component and application event together? Yes, yeah, Dheeraj, for sure. So if you see over here in this demo component child, I used to fire both the events together. So yes, for sure you will be able to use it together. There is no issues, but make sure that like they should have some use. Um, application event can be caught in a parent-child relationship also, like it is throughout the application. So if application event is working, why do you need a component event? So although you can use it for different scenarios, like from component event you are firing something else, from application event you are firing something else. We are using these attributes to uh, isolate things and all. So they are there. They will be usable pretty much. So it's up to you. You can use it, right? So coming to the Lightning Message Services. So currently you saw that we were using two Aura components together. But what if you have a old Aura component and you created a new LWC component and you need to communicate between these two? How things will work on those? Uh, Things will work pretty much easy, very easy, where you will simply be using the Lightning Message Services, which are the LMS services from Salesforce, where you can communicate between LWC, VF pages, and Aura simultaneously in the same way. Like this is also like the application event, component event counterpart only. But here you are using a message channel instead. So instead of creating an event, you create a message channel, and you can simply use that message channel to publish across. So like other LWC things, even this is something that you have to create from a VS Code only, and that is the reason I uh, created a I actually authorized my VS Code. So in order to create a message channel, what you can do is you can go to default, which we are in. uh, Click on default one so that still it's creating over there. Yep. Now we are good, and we have to write message channels, MESSGCHNNELS. Yeah, right. And then create a new one, which will be like whatever message channel you want to create. Let's say global channel, right? And then it will be dot message channel dash meta dot xml. So this is how you can create it. And just a second. So we have this Lightning Message Channel Developer Guide over here. You from here you can copy the contents. Okay, this is for the package.xml. We don't need to do that. So over here, if you see from Lightning Message Channel, what you can do is this is a simple XML. Here you can create the master label. So we have created global channel. This is the label. It is exposed. So if is exposed is false, you won't be able to use it across the components. It should be true. Okay, and over here you can have different fields. If you see in the components, you just had the attributes. Here it is fields. We can have record ID, record data. So whatever thing, description is optional over here. So once done, just right click and deploy. So if it is deployed, it is deployed. Now global channel is available. So how to start using this? So start using it. So we will have to create a VF page. Let's create a VF page for it. Instead, I will show you from a aura to aura. Like it will be similar to VF on also, but I will show you aura to aura instead of creating a VF page. If you guys need a VF page, you guys can comment and I will start working on it. I will work on it also. But first, let me show you a VF to VF part. So what I will do is instead of using the Google application event, I will use the uh, lightning message channel. So we have the display record over here. We have we are handling it, but now what we need to do is we need to use lightning, and here it will be message channel. Type will be the name of your channel, which is like where is it? Global channel underscore C, and aura ID will, we can actually assign our aura ID so that we can query it when needed, when we actually need to fire it. And instead of action, we are having on message. So in both the components, where in events we have to use register and then handle. Over here we will simply be using the same part like message channel, and the next one will be display record, and another one was contact list. And in contact list, instead of register event, we will use this. So here we don't have to use on message, and over here we don't have to use our ID. So it's like where you need to query, and so I will show you. And so in the controller, here we were firing the event. Now we don't need to fire the event, right? We need to send the like what we should say. We need to send the publish the payload. So we'll create the payload. So let payload equal to, so basically we are creating a JSON. This is the record ID. Which is row.id. And do we have anything else? Where's it? Here. We also have record data, but instead of record data, what I will do is type will deploy type and deploy it. So here I will copy type and it will be static open record. Okay. So this I have done. Wait. Now what I have to do is I have to get that lightning message channel. So I will do component.find, and here it will be like global channel. So here we have to specify the Aura ID basically, and dot publish payload, right? So from here we have published it, right? Now this thing is done. Now we have to handle it. Where is it? What I will do is, instead of like all this, I will first console.log event.get params, right? Okay, get params, and let's see. So everything is deployed. I will refresh it and click on view details. Nothing happened actually. We didn't even got the, let's try once more. Let's go to VS Code and mhm. Let's deploy this display record. We have the global channel on message. It is like handle event. It is right, and global channel it is going to see it is also right. Over here we are having global channel, global channel. That's right. So everything looks good. I will again deploy it over here. Let's console the payload once. Okay. So we have now we are having display record. We are inside it and we have got the event. Okay, and like this we can. So what we will do is over here we will again param, and over here we will do record ID. Okay, now I will deploy it. Maybe last time I missed deploying something. So okay, let's refresh once more. So we are getting the record ID now, right? What we will do, event dot record ID. This is done, and what else we have set over here? Its type is open record. So it has to be type. Okay. Deployed. Let's refresh. It's not yet deployed. So see, now it is working with the help of Lightning message channel. Okay, so this was all about Lightning message channel. What else I will try to do is I will also I will quickly create a VF page so that we can see how it works. Give me a minute. So over here, we will have to use a couple of scripts. So these scripts are needed. Then this script is needed. Okay, let me get it. So we have a couple of scripts like connection, S-Force, API and all. Over here, we have to use the global channel. And over here, it will be global channel __ C. We can get it like this. So first we have to subscribe, right? So when we are subscribing at where we are subscribing, okay, subscribe message channel. So subscription to message channel, and so this is the channel, and this is the function which is passed. Like whenever it is published, um, uh, like LMS published, it will come over here, and it will show the JSON or no message payload. We don't need all these. So we just need the subscription. We don't need to need this part. We don't need to publish also, but this is how we can publish as force.1.publish, and over here it will be there, but we don't need this. I will show you how to catch a message. Okay, so now what we need is that it should get subscribed. So subscribe message channel. Let's add a few consoles just to track if anything went wrong. Now we will place that LMS VF page over here. And by the way, this is the last thing of today's session. If you guys have any questions or anything, you can let me know. No VF page is available. Okay. So we created a Visual Force page, but we will have to enable it. So what we will do, we will open it from here and available. Like we have to edit it and make it available for Lightning experience, mobile sites, and all this. Done. Now just a refresh. Okay. So we have added it. Now, as soon as this page comes to life, initiating subscription from LMS example inside subscription method, subscribe to message channel. So these lower logs we got, I will clear all these now and click on view details. So see, I clicked on view details, and over here, if you see, we have inside global message channel published, and we are having the record ID and type. So we got the data from Aura to VF pages, and this is how you can you have some JavaScript code running in your VF page to load some data or call Apex and do some jobs over here. So I hope it is clear to all of you guys. If you need any other thing, you can let me know. So thank you guys for for being in today's session. You guys can connect with me on over LinkedIn or Twitter. If you have any issues, I will be happy to help you guys. I'm active on Twitter, so you can reach out to me. Like Twitter is the quickest way to reach out to me directly. I'm not very uh, active on LinkedIn, so in case I don't accept your request, don't be offended. So when I will be there, I will accept and see. Uh, if you have any issues and quick solutions, you guys can tweet me, and I will be happy to help you out on those. And if you have any questions right now, Anand, you can like I'm done with my session. Like you guys can ask.
Thank you,